you still haven't answered me. Why are you home so early?
I told you, Heather, we have a lot to talk about.
But you just left for the hospital an hour ago.
Yeah, well, a hell of a lot can happen in an hour. Now, I want an answer to something, and I want it now.
If I can?
Oh, you can, all right. Heather, why the hell didn't you tell me you've been taking birth control pills? I'm waiting, Heather. Okay, if you don't want to tell me, I'll tell you. Gina Dante ran a series of tests on you, and the results showed that if you conceived another child, you'd be endangering your life. But she told you that before you left the hospital, Heather. You never said one word to me.
Jeff, I wanted to tell you so many times.
Yeah, well, why didn't you?
I was afraid.
Of what?
Losing you.
Oh, come on.
You want a son more than anything in the world. And I thought if you knew I wouldn't be able to give you one, that you'd leave me.
Oh, Heather, come on. You're not making any sense.
Yes, I am. I promised you that I would give you another son to take Stephen Laur's place.
Heather, don't you realize that no one can take Stephen Laur's place any more than anyone can take your place? Don't you know how much I love you?
Yes.
No, I don't think you do. Otherwise, you would have trusted me enough to come to me in the beginning and tell me the truth.
I was going to tell you, Jeff. I was just waiting for the right time.
The right time was the very moment Gina told you. Heather, I am your husband, not some stranger.
That is not fair, Jeff. How was I supposed to tell you? Call you on the phone and tell you while you were locked up in quarantine? Or maybe I should have sent you a telegram in Hawaii.
Heather, you should have made sure you saw me before the hospital. There was plenty of time.
I couldn't tell you since the quarantine's been lifted because you've been in strange moods.
Heather, I told you my strange mood had nothing to do with you or my love for you.
But I couldn't know that.
Yeah, but you knew it last night when I told you the whole story about Steve being my father, didn't you?
And how could I blurt this out on top of all of that?
How could you not? That's the point.
I told you why I did. I was afraid of losing you.
Come on. Come here. Oh, honey. If I've learned anything lately, it's that what we want in life and what we get are two entirely different things.
Jeff, I'd understand if you turned to someone else. Someone who could give you...
Hey, come on now. That is about the most absurd thing I've ever heard you say. I don't have to go looking for what I want or what I need. It's right here.
Maybe for now. Jeff, I am just trying to be unselfish. I don't want you to resent me someday because I cheated you out of what you want most in the world.
Heather, if I ever resent you, it'll be because you never learned to trust me or believe in my love for you.
Jeff, you don't have to believe this if you don't want to. But I called Gina this morning and I begged her not to say anything to you because I was going to tell you myself tonight.
I believe you. I believe you. And Gina wouldn't have said anything if I hadn't asked her straight out if something was wrong with you that I didn't know about.
Why did you think that something was wrong with me all of a sudden?
Well, I didn't. Until I saw Susan at Snyder's drugstore this morning before I hit the hospital.
Susan? What does she have to do with any of this?
Well, we were talking about you, and she was concerned about your health.
Why would Susan be concerned about my health?
Because she knew you were taking the pill, and she couldn't understand why.
You're sure it's not an inconvenience, Dr. Kincaid? Yeah, well, so many things have piled up around the house that needed my attention, besides doing my income taxes. But I'll be back in a full schedule on Monday morning. Yeah. Look, by the way, I talked to Rick Weber this morning. Yeah, I wanted you to know that the judges decreased Laura's obligatory sessions from 5 to 2 days a week, so today will probably be your last session with her. Oh, well, good. Well, I know how hard it is for Laura to open up to anybody. So I'm very glad to hear that. Yes. All right. Well, thanks again, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Yeah, you too. Yeah. Bye-bye. Hey, thank you for the coffee, honey.
You're welcome. Dr. Kincaid willing to take over for your patients with you?
Yeah, so it gives me another full day with you and PJ. Hey, it's good to see you so happy and relaxed this morning.
Thanks to you. That was such a good idea to change our number to an unlisted. Oh, Peter, I've been meaning to... Oh, excuse me.
Didn't you sleep well last night?
Oh. Yes, I slept like a log. Best sleep I've had in weeks. I'm just still a little groggy, that's all.
You sure that's it?
Yes. Dr. Taylor, you worry too much, you know that? But you don't have to worry about me anymore. Because today's the day I'm going to get everything in order for me to go back to work at the hospital.
If you're up to it.
Of course I'm up to it. Now that Dr. Levine is going to confirm my opinion when I see him this afternoon. Which reminds me what I was about to ask you before I started to yawn. Could I use the car this afternoon to go to the hospital instead of taking a bus or a cab?
Well, I'll do you one better. I'll drive you, and while you're with Todd, I'll organize things in my office.
Oh, I'd love that. It'll be just like old times, you and me driving to the hospital together.
Right. There's only one problem.
What's that?
PJ. You know, Maggie's not starting work until tomorrow. So, if there's no one to stay with him while you two are gone.
Problem solved. Heather's going to come over this afternoon. I'm sure she wouldn't mind watching our baby for us till we get back.
Yeah, I'm sure Heather wouldn't mind. Our only problem would be prying PJ loose from her once we do get back.
I felt so bad for her when I told her that Maggie'd be working for us.
Well, certainly she understands why.
Maybe, but I could tell she was really disappointed. Particularly when she saw Maggie come out of the nursery with PJ just to say hello. I know that he reminds her of the baby she just lost.
Well, all the more reason why she shouldn't dwell on it and get back into the book room at the hospital. You know, maybe we shouldn't ask her to look after him today, huh?
Oh, it's only going to be for a few hours. Besides, I feel I really owe her a favor. I don't know how I would have survived while you were in New York. All of those terrible nights if she hadn't stayed here with me.
Okay, you win. But only because I'm selfish enough to want to spend every minute I can with you today. Look, honey, don't you think you ought to call Heather and check with her?
No, I just said she's going to be coming over this afternoon.
Yeah, I know. Maybe she made other plans for later.
Oh, you're right.
Okay.
If she has made other plans for later, I bet she can change them pretty fast.
Heather, just promise me you'll never keep another secret from me. Especially something that affects our life together, please.
I promise.
Okay. And listen, I'm sorry for storming in the way I did. But when Susan dropped out about you being on the pill,
Why doesn't Susan just stay out of my life?
Heather, believe me, she was just concerned about your health. Naturally, she thought I knew all about it, so she didn't see any harm in asking how you're getting along.
Jeff, you don't know her like I do. Hello?
Heather? Diana.
Hi, is everything okay?
Oh, couldn't be better. Listen, I have a favor to ask you. Peter has very kindly agreed to drive me over to Dr. Levine's this afternoon for my appointment, and we don't have anyone to stay with PJ.
I'd be happy to, Diana. Is Peter going to come right back?
He's got a lot of paperwork that he has to take care of before he starts back to work next week.
Oh, fine. Don't worry about a thing. I can stay with PJ as long as you like.
Honey, I'm sorry. It's later than I thought. I gotta get back.
Oh, Diana, just leave him for the hospital. I'll have him drop me off, okay? All right, see you in a minute. Bye. Jeff, you can drop at Diana and Peter's, can't you?
Yeah, if you don't mind traveling at the speed of sound. I have a feeling I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble when I get back to the hospital for leaving and not telling anyone again.
Oh, Jeff, don't be silly. Now your father is chief of staff. You don't have to worry about getting in trouble.
You know, sometimes I wonder why I ever bother trying to explain anything to you. Listen, when you get to Diana's, would you call your mom and see if she's going to be there this afternoon?
Well, sure, but why?
Well, I want to square things up with Rick and Leslie on that money I borrowed.
$5,000?
Yeah, I want to get it back to him as soon as possible.
But Jeff, what if Cal Jameson calls and then we don't have the money? We'll never find out about Stephen Ross.
Heather, when and if Jameson calls, I'll get the money somewhere.
But where, Jeff? We don't know anyone else.
Hey,
who
come on.
has that.
No arguments, huh? I don't want to be in debt to Rick. So you just give her a call and tell her I'll get there as soon as I can after work, all right?